Hello and welcome to Paper Plays Julie K.
Welcome crafty friends, and thank you so much for stopping by to check out my latest video. And today I'm continuing to work on the hashtag Little Bits of Lace 2024 and adding things to the envelope flip journal that I am working on for that. And today I thought we would do some maybe lace dangles or lace tab dangles. I'm not quite sure what to call them. And so I have a couple pages marked here in the journal that I wanted to add them to, so that we're going to start with those two. So there's two different ones I want to show you today. And so the first one, I'm just going to use a tab like this. If you don't have the tab punch, you could easily just fold over a piece of paper to make something similar, or you could glue two circles together, or even like you could make a tab too by gluing hearts, you know, on one side and then the back side. I mean, you can make all sorts of different ways to make tabs. So if you don't have the tab punch, like I said, you could easily even just take a piece of paper and fold it and then cut it to size, and then you have an easy tab. So, but I'm using the Stampin' Up! Punch, and I punched one out and I've already inked the edges with Distress ink. And the paper that I have here, I think it's called Distress Florals. It's a Hobby Lobby paper pad. And then the paper in this line paper came from My Porch Prints off of Etsy. And so this one I wanted to hang off of the top. And so the first thing I'm actually going to do is just glue it on to the page. Then the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to cut punch a hole into this tab. And I'm just going to punch it more towards the base of the tab. And I'm going to go ahead and add an eyelet to that. Then I'll just add a little extra stability for whatever I'm going to hang from it. Ooh, and I just thought of something I wanted to do, and I wanted to put lace underneath the tab, but that's okay. We'll just put some lace or something. We'll just decorate it on top with some lace. So I have the eyelet in there, and so now I'm going to make some sort of lace dangle. And I was going to start off with, I have a little garment pin or a bulb pin, and I hung a little key off of it, and then I have a little pearl. But I wanted to add, I think behind those items, so I'm going to take these off. I'm going to add some lace behind there, so I have a nice little lace dangle. I'm just trying to see. I pulled out a couple things. For sure I want to use this dark pink one. So let's just see what else I have sitting next to me here in my stash that I could add. This one's kind of pretty. I could cut that one down. So yeah, I think I'm going to use maybe these three, but let's cut this one down. So that might be kind of pretty as a kind of a little lace dangle using some of our leftover lace bits. So I think I'm going to put the pearl on the gourd pin first. I'm going to hang the key. And then I'm going to just snag all of the pieces of lace just to make sure that they all get on the little bulb pin here, or the gourd pin. You could add, like if you wanted to add, you could add some ribbon or something else too hanging down from there. A nice piece of tatting would be nice too if you had some tatting. And so then that is just going to get attached to the eyelet. So now we have a nice little dangle with using up some of our leftover bits of lace. And of course, I had thought about adding like a piece of lace underneath the tab before I glued it down, and I forgot about that. So, but let's just take some of my scrap lace and let's just maybe add a piece onto the tab just as kind of some decorative element. So I'm just going to cut this one down. And we can add that, and then I'm going to add this little piece that I cut off of a wedding dress trim or some lace. And I have lots of this style because I cut this piece out. I have used the other parts of the wedding lace quite a bit, but I always end up cutting this little bit off. So I always have lots of those pieces hanging out in my scrap pile. So I like that. And then of course, you know, I like my eyelash trim. So let's go ahead and layer all of those down just so we can decorate the page a little bit with some more scraps. We'll just put the eyelash trim on the back of that one and then glue it down a little bit more. So I like that. That's really cute. That's a nice little embellishment. It's going to take a little bit for this to glue on there. And what I'm going to do is I just have some of this Teflon sheet or whatever, the Ranger sheet that I cut up, and I'm just going to layer that kind of on top of this so I don't accidentally glue something I don't want to glue. And again, we made this cute little lace dangle. So I'm just going to flip this over. And again, I'm just going to decorate this back side, add a little bit of lace or some sort of embellishment or something on the back side of this one also. Just seeing what I have floating around on my desk. So I could layer a piece of this trim or lace. So let's put that there. And then I have this lace too that I can cut down. I'm just going to cut the flower part off of this one and use that. This is a piece of a much wider piece of lace, so that works really good. And then some more eyelash trim. So I'll hold that page up so you guys can check out both sides a little bit closer. So again, we made this little lace dangle, and you can add more laces if you want, which I might down the road. For right now, I just have the 3 hanging from the garment pin. And then we did a little bit of layering up there in the corner on the tab, and then also on this side. So I'm going to give that a second to dry, just so I don't accidentally glue some of my pages together. And then we're going to work on another one, so I'll be back shortly. So I'm back, and for the next lace tab dangle that I want to make, I want to try something that I saw Gail Agostinelli do on her channel. And she did like these wraparound paper strips and made them so that they hang over on your page. And then hang like a dangle this way. And she glued her paper strips all the way down. But I think I'm going to try to make mine so that maybe I have like a shallow tuck spot or pocket on them. So you are going to need to start off with a paper strip that's going to hang over once you fold it over. It's going to hang over your page. And so I'm adding it to one of my envelope pages that I have in my journal. And this one is a top loading one, so it's not going to interfere with anything. So I think this one would be a perfect one to add it down. So I did ink the edges of my paper strip, and then I also sewed around the edges. I just like that look. So I am going to glue it down, and then it's going to hang over just enough so that I can make it a tab and of course hang some sort of lace dangle on it. So I'm just going to put glue on the sides and the bottom, I think, on this one. Because again, I wanted to try and make it into a into a tuck also. So I'm going to put glue around the bottom, and then same with on this other side that's going to wrap around. I just opened up a new glue bottle and it's not wanting to cooperate. I might have to cut the tip a little bit more. So I think that'll work nicely. And then there's what it looks like on the back side. It's pretty straight, I think. And so again, on this one, we're going to do almost the same thing. I'm going to go ahead and punch a hole. And we'll add an eyelet. That looks pretty good. And on this one, I was thinking instead of doing like a straight lace dangle, I was going to kind of intermix maybe a tag and then some lace. And so I do have these tags like this that you can buy. I think they're called key tags. Here's what the packaging looks like. You can buy them for a few bucks at like Walmart. I think they're like $3 or something, but once in a while I get lucky and find them at the thrift store for $1, so that's usually when I try and pick them up. And I punched some circles, and I used this circle punch right here. Again, using that Distress Floral paper pad that I've been using throughout this journal. And I'm going to just add that onto both sides of this. You could just stamp directly onto your paper, the key tag here too if you wanted to. But I'm going to add some lace over it since this, of course, is a little bits of lace challenge. We want to add lace to everything. And I'll probably decorate the little paper strip that we added to with something. I have a couple things sitting out here. And so again, I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to re-punch that hole up at the top. And I'm just going to, I think if I hold this up to the light, I can see where the hole is. So I might have to do that off camera. So I think this is approximately where that other hole was. So I'm just going to go ahead and punch another hole. And I'm going to add the eyelet. And this is just going to reinforce it a little bit. I don't think you have to do this step if you don't want. But I just think it's going to reinforce the hole a little bit since we're going to have something hanging. And so again, so I want to hang that. And I need to find a garment pin. So I have that. And I'm just looking at kind of what laces I have sitting here. I pulled out a couple as possibilities for hanging from there. We still have this little scrap left. I could use this one that we didn't. Yeah, this one might work nicely. Just this leftover scrap. I'm just going to cut it down, I think, a little bit. And I still have some more of this lace, so we can add that. But I think I want it shorter, so we'll cut this one down also. Maybe put this pink one in there too, just for a little color. Thinking that'll work. And you know, on this one I might add a button, I think. So that might look nice. And then just trying to see if I want to put any more lace on it or not. Because I do want a piece of lace, I think, decorated onto the tag or something added to that. So I have this remnant left over, so I think that'll work there. And then for the back side, I have this piece of doily that I'm going to add to the back side of the tag. Just trying to see if I wanted to do anything else, but let's just start with decorating this a little bit. Like I said, you could stamp on here too if you wanted. I've made these key tags before on my channel. It's a great way to kind of use up scraps of paper. Oftentimes I'll stamp on them, or you can add like a little postage stamp or something like that. And we'll just glue this one to the back. You could have also like punched out a cute little flower to add to it. But I like this. That's cute. So let's start with the button and the couple layers of lace that we're going to add for the dangle. And you could add a charm if you wanted to do that instead of the button. Or you could go without. It doesn't really matter. Just whatever you have on hand or whatever's sitting on your desk. That's usually kind of what I do, is whatever's sitting on my desk at the moment when I'm crafting. Then we're going to go ahead and add the little tag that we made. Again, that's the front side and the back side. So I'm trying to decide, I might want to do, I think I want to show the tag first. So I'm just changing the order up is all I'm doing. So yeah, I think I like that better. That's what it looks like. Really cute, you know, just another way to use up your little bits of lace. So we're just going to go ahead and attach that to the eyelet. So now we have another fun little lace dangle. And then of course, because I just don't want to leave this plain, so I'm going to go ahead and decorate it. And again, we have this open right here as a pocket, so I don't... Here's one of those that I've made before like this, but I actually used a tag instead, and I just hung one piece of trim on it. But like this will work to hang, to add some sort of like shorter tag in here. So once it dries, just to show you that it's still a functional little pocket too, besides, you know, having the cute little embellishment there. So earlier on one of our episodes, I had made these just using kind of like some words and laces and trims behind them. And so I thought that might look kind of cute glued down on this one. So I'm going to go ahead and glue that one down, but I'm just looking to see, I have some other scrap laces. I might add something underneath it just to add another layer of lace. And I'm thinking I'm liking this one right here. So I'm going to glue this one down. Or I do have this one too. This one's kind of pretty. This leftover scrap. I could glue that one down. Now I think I'm going to stick with this little bit flatter one. So let's go ahead and glue that down. Then we'll glue this one down also. And again, if you're just tuning in for the first time to my channel, I do have a playlist of all my little bits of lace episodes. And again, the whole premise of the little challenge that Cori Dahmen put out was to use up little bits of lace in our stash. And so like I said, this little embellishment I made on a previous episode. It was earlier. I don't remember which episode it was, but one of the earlier ones. So that, I really like that. I think that's really cute. And I still could add some sort of embellishment off here to the side. Like maybe, I have some more of these still. I'm thinking it still needs something up here. Like that one's kind of cute. So let's go ahead with that one. I'm just going to cut off the, pearl on this one just to reduce the bulk a little bit, just in case I don't, because sometimes when you have too many pearls, they indent on the other side of your paper. So I'm just going to take that off on this one for now. Oh, and then I guess maybe I want some eyelash trim too. So let me find some eyelash trim. And it's actually, I call it eyelash trim, but I think it's actually called like eyelash yarn. I think Hobby Lobby, they call it Fun Fur, in case anybody's looking for it. I use it quite a bit on different projects, and I usually thrift mine. But like I said, I know you can buy it at Hobby Lobby. But that's, you know, some of the names: eyelash trim, eyelash fur, fun fur, eyelash yarn, or some of the names. And so that's what that one looks like. I'll try and hold that one up close so you guys can check it out. That's really cute. That's going to be fun when you have the whole journal flipped up the right way when you're paging through it. So I'm just going to, again, on this back side, and I'm just going to stick this right under here just in case any of the glue seeps through so we don't have any accidents. I'm going to decorate the back side real quick. And again, on one of the earlier episodes, we made some paper and lace, like little clusters or snippets. And so I was just thinking this one might look kind of cute on here. And then I found a little sentiment in my stash that said "Simply Perfect." So I was just thinking I might add that. And again, it looks like I have space under here to add some sort of lace or trim. So let's see what I have here. Here's kind of a nice lace. I was hoping for something bigger though. Oh, I could use this leftover piece. What does that look like? Ooh, I kind of like that one. So let's use that one. Just gotta trim it down a little bit. And you don't have to add any extra lace, but again, since this is kind of a, you know, using up leftover bits of lace, I of course want to add as much as I can. I think I'm going to hang that one, well, I don't know. Because this is the front side of the lace, so I might have to trim it down a little bit more. So I think that might look kind of cute. And then we can still add the word on top. And again, this side, just because of the way we made it, you can still tuck something into the pocket there. So I think that'll work. And I'm just going to trim. And I'm just going to trim a little bit off of the edge of this one. It's just hanging out too far. So I'm just going to trim that so then it doesn't interfere. And I'm just adding glue on the bottom half because again, I don't want, if I glue it directly on here, I won't have that pocket. So I'm just going to glue the bottom half so that it still is functional as a pocket behind it. You know, maybe I have like some more of these types of journal cards. That one does fit in there. So that does fit behind there. So I'll have to remember that when I'm adding a journal card to this pocket. So that's cute. And then I'm going to add some eyelash trim to the back of that sentiment that I picked out. And this little sentiment that I'm using, well, maybe I could put this behind it too, this little piece of lace. Yeah, let's do that. Let's add another layer. It came from like some sort of scrapbooking paper pad. Sometimes they have those little punch out words in them. And that's where it came from. I don't remember what pad it was. It was just with my leftover bits. So I just added the eyelash trim. I'm going to add a little glue to this lace. And layer that behind here also. And then I might have to put just a little dot or two of glue just to get it to adhere to my little pocket that we're making here. Ooh, I like that. That's really cute. You know, what's nice about these too is on the back side, you can still see the little dangle that we created with our little bits of lace. And then of course we had a little bit of extra bonus scrap lace just because we used some up here. And then of course there was lace on this little paper cluster that we created in another episode. But that really cute. I really like that. So thanks again, everybody, so much for watching today. Hopefully you enjoyed today's episode. And I did have one more idea for like a dangle, but I'm kind of running out of time for what I have available in my craft room. So maybe I'll come back later today or tomorrow and do that episode. It was using like kind of a paper and paper clip and lace type dangle. So I will maybe, like I said, come back and film that one later. So that'll probably be the next episode, is making kind of a little lace dangle with a paper clip. So I will be back probably the next day or two with that episode. And until next time, again, thank you everybody so much for watching. Have a wonderful day and happy crafting.